Hi everyone, this is Off to Battle, aka Jeremiah Bork, and I wanted to give my opinions today on the whole Warhammer 40k Darktide controversy in terms of its launch, in terms of its cash shop, in terms of the belly aching going on. Because what's gone on in the past week is that it's gone from its pre-release maintenance to a day one launch to a large day two patch, including 3 maps as new content, and then a day three hotfix for performance issues, which hasn't helped everybody with their problems, but that's very unfortunate. Um, and now we have reports that the company has acknowledged that the cash shop has problems with it, and also saying about the crafting system or lack thereof. They didn't like the system that they had, so they made the hard decision to just rip it out and redo it from the ground up. Now, that being the reason, I can't really complain about it, because I'd rather that they have a good system in place going forward rather than have a bad system. And they explained that, if people were starting to actually use a bad system, how do they compensate people for taking that system away? It wouldn't work out very well. It's better to not have it at all. But with the cash shop, they're saying that they have approval issues, that they had to basically get things past the suits. But the pace of how these things are being addressed, if I compare to Overwatch 2, if I compare to Gundam Evolution, I was trying to say not Gundam Overwatch, but it basically is anyway. Anybody who's played that game even a little will understand that aspect of it. And that's a so-called free-to-play model, but they have actual pay-to-win suits, mobile suits, your actual characters behind the paywalls. And compared to that, Warhammer 40k Darktide, it's you buy it unless it's on Microsoft Game Pass, and I'll come back to that in a second. But you pay for it, but then you can pay more if you want very specific and cool-looking cosmetics for a character. And people noticed that the pricing was in a classic predatory fashion, that it really wasn't wholesome and family-friendly for this, and just you had no in-game currency to earn towards those cosmetics. Uh, separate from, the sort that you can get from the actual regular weapons shop. And those would be of a lesser quality and coolness level. Now, in terms of, certifications, I have the advantage, quote unquote, of having once translated like a couple of these certifications from Japanese companies going to Microsoft's Xbox. And I'm not going to say which games, and even though it was a long time ago, they're not big, long documents because they were used basically as the paperwork you slap onto a build that you send to Microsoft. And that makes it more like a shipping declaration of some sort, a bill of goods. So the point is that there is a certification process that does go on when you're dealing with large overhead heavy companies, but that's understandable. They want to have a product that is of minimum quality standards. And when you're on something like Game Pass, even though that there is no console Xbox version out yet, they would probably still have a very, very similar certification process. So there shouldn't be any great mystery. There really is a certification process that has to go on for major changes. And also you have the fact that this is a licensed product. I mean, the company doing the licensing also wants to make money off this. So you have that consideration. But the point is, we haven't even been an entire week since launch before these issues are being addressed publicly. And I'm like, you don't know how good you have it. What do you compare this launch to? I mean, what do you want to compare it to? Anthem? I know that I'm making an extreme example here. Marvel's Avengers, which I have played, which I actually didn't dislike. But is it a great game in terms of other live service games? No. Does it have lots of problems? Absolutely. I liked it in spite of those things, not because of those things. But, I could go on about that because I saw a retrospective video about it. But the main example I would use is Vermintide 2. And this is because same company, same kind of game, but it took a lot longer for a lot of things to be addressed. And why would that be? And I imagine it's not a matter of caring less. It's their game. It's their baby. They want it to succeed. They want it to run well and to have few bugs and for people to enjoy themselves because then they'll be committed to the game, the company, the successor game perhaps. I played Vermintide 1 with my best friend quite a bit. I did not manage to play Vermintide 2 with my same best friend just because of life circumstances. And also because until only under 2 months ago, my computer wasn't really able to run it well. But that's a problem with the computer. I upgraded it with Darktide in mind, and I am able to run it with minimal issues, like very minimal. I've been lucky. Other people have had worse with the connection problems. Yes, there are connection problems out there. Yes, there are issues. I've seen the infinite loading screen, but when I come back after Alt F4ing my screen, it kindly asks me to reconnect to the game session, which immediately just blows away Gundam Evolution in that respect. I mean, already it's totally eating Gundam Evolution's launch in terms of dealing with that situation. So I'm very grateful for that. I like the attention paid. The point is, I think it's not a matter of simple preference. I think that the fact that this game is on Game Pass means that Microsoft money is involved. It's not just they had proceeds from Vermintide 2 because they were burning those proceeds in order to make Darktide, but because Microsoft money was in hand because it's on Game Pass, they actually have the financing in place to devote the resources. And that's a lot of human resources, but humans have to be paid. You can't ask these people to work for free. To have more people working on more problems to make sure that you have less problems in the near future, you need to pay people. You need to have the money for it. You need to have the computers available for it. You need to have everything in order. And I think that they do. I mean, when they say that we've been so busy fixing the bugs that it took us a while to get around to the cash shop issue and controversy, I actually believe them because they are not standing still. They are really pushing this. So in terms of, chaotic launch compared to what? In terms of solving the problem, in terms of pace that the problems are being solved, it's way ahead of Vermintide. Overwatch 2, you're dealing with a large company with a lot of issues going on in it. I mean, Overwatch 1 spent, what, 3 years with basically no changes at all? And I skipped those years. I played early on. I did not play during those 3 years of, stagnation. Part life circumstances, part, I mean, I wasn't super, I wasn't in way late in ranked or anything like that. No, no. Call me a filthy casual if you want, but that's how it is. Plus, my aforementioned best friend. I mean, once he was out of it, I was out of it, basically. The point is that this is not a bad launch compared to a lot of other situations. And that's why, I mean, I'm a young YouTuber and an old translator. I understand wanting clicks. I want clicks too. But I don't want clicks at the expense of a game that I'm actually really enjoying. And mainly because that I see them addressing these problems so much faster than I've seen all those other companies address them. I'm willing to cut them a lot of slack because it's physical, mental work that goes involved into fixing stuff. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes hours of sleep lost. It's a lot of work. So I'm really glad to see that the resources are being put into place to deal with this stuff. Of course, we should be calling for the best. We want solutions. We need to keep calling for those solutions. But the one guy with a video saying that he felt bad for those suckers out there who bought the game on pre-order and who bought into the pre-order beta, the pre-launch beta. I don't feel those people are suckers at all. And eventually I did join them because other people who'd gone in sooner because I just had a job to do and I just couldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't do the game while I was doing the job. Once I did the job, I was like, okay, it's still pre-order. I'll bite. I wanted this anyway. I actually got, a few things to slap on my characters afterwards. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a bad launch. and it's a great underlying game. This is the lipstick on a pig problem. If the game wasn't fun, if the game wasn't a hell of a blast, then we wouldn't bother to talk about it. Not much. Not except it was one of those, uh, who murdered X game? That's not the case with Darktide. Darktide may be a grimdark setting, but it has a bright future. That's the message I want to send to everybody. And the rest of this video was simply explaining why I feel that way about, the launch snags. There are technical problems that still need to be worked out. Yes, of course there are. I didn't expect for them to have a perfect launch with no technical issues. Who in their right mind expects that? Especially for this kind of game. So I think that we all just need to appreciate that. I'm recording this on December the 5th. The game launched formally on November 30th. We're still okay. This is not some sort of quagmire. This is not some sort of the turtle is on its back, little legs flailing. It's not like that. Not yet, and hopefully not ever. But for now, hold the course, pick up the hammer, and go smash some heretics. Because, assuming that you don't have the unlucky connection problems, and I hope you don't, but the point being is that it's a great game underneath, and we all should want it to succeed. And hopefully it is going to be a great success, and I'll do my part to play it, enjoy it, and talk well of it. Because what can I ask besides they're listening and they're actually walking the walk and trying to get stuff done. What else can you ask? For me, there's nothing else I can ask for now. If nothing changes in a month, then another story. But for 1 week, they've done well. And with that, I will conclude. Take care, have fun, because that's what matters here. If you're not a gamer who's having fun, you're a sad gamer.